Eons ago, during the age of the Magi, the world was something other. Magic is all that there was and all that was needed. Legend states that a cataclysmic event brought a great frozen age to the world of Lacrin, and soon after, a new era dawned. Though they say the ancient magics of the Magi still lie buried and lost, scattered around the world, lying in wait for those with the courage to wield it to discover. Welcome to the world of Lacrin and the continent of Thelmecia. Noble knights, roaming orcs, mischievous goblins, and idyllic wondrous lands, just waiting to be explored. Now, a new peril aspires to plunge Thelmecia into despair once more, but not before a few unheard-of heroes take their chance at triumph. Welcome to Tablestory, Darkfire.
Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. It's me, BradWOTO, and some other people, slightly less important.
It's just us.
It's just us. No John Sandman today, unfortunately. This is going to sound weird saying, unfortunately, he had a child.
No,
what I mean
that does not make sense to me.
Unfortunately, he's not here because he had a child.
He birthed it, though.
He did. He had a child all by himself.
Came out of him. It transposed itself.
Like a plant, he can seed himself, and he also can photosynthesize, and he saves a lot of money on food
car insurance
by doing that way. So that means he can afford more Teslas.
Oh jeez.
John has spawned another Tesla. Everybody go over to Twitter. I think he's John Sandman TV on Twitter, at John Sandman, and send him a little congratulations, or go and like one of his pictures of his newborn Hasmol. And I can confirm that he named the child Hasmol. You'll be pleased to know.
He texted me about it.
Yeah? Did he say, I am 100% confirmed?
We sent a picture of him and his kid, and he said, meet Hasmol.
Okay, yeah.
Didn't think you'd do it. But
What a mad lad.
one thing we can talk about John is that he does not lie.
No, he has never lied.
Being real, I don't think he could lie.
No, probably not.
Be a bad liar, even if
Yeah, he'd be terrible. He'd have that grin on his face the whole time. There's no way.
Shit-eating grin.
Of pure sunshine.
Wow. Dark.
Yes. Hello, cast. Welcome to the people who could be bothered to show up. Okay,
Yeah.
today.
I mean, I had
those
to.
of you who could be bothered to show up all get triple, whatever it's called. If I can remember what it was called.
EXP?
Triple experience points today. Because you showed up. How you doing, Wax Steven? You feeling good after yesterday's brand new show that premiered on Tablestory? It was called Zero Blue Orion.
God, it was good.
If you
God,
are
it was
watching
good.
this live, if you're watching this on the VOD, head over to our playlists or look at our videos and find Zero Blue Orion. It is a brand new show. It started just yesterday for us.
It was really good.
Feeling good, Wax?
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I did wake up early today. I don't know why. My body just woke up at 5:30 this morning.
Oh,
So
wow.
Hopefully I'm not gonna fall asleep in the middle of this. Should be all right. Should be okay.
I think you'll be fine.
We had a citywide Amber Alert go off 3 times last night, so I didn't get any sleep either.
What does
It's gonna
that
be
mean?
When a child gets abducted.
Child goes missing.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like they do an emergency alert service, like when there's an earthquake or, the city's getting bombed or something like that, or a presidential alert like that happened in Hawaii or whatever. But for us in Toronto, it's also for Amber Alerts as well. So it'll play this like really crazy earth-ending alarm on your phone in the middle of the night.
Loud.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
really loud. Yeah.
Why?
So,
Why?
like, say for example, somebody steals someone's kid. They'll do an Amber Alert that will give the vehicle's license plate what they look like, a description of the kid in them. That way, if like somebody at a gas station sees them pull up, they can be like, Amber Alert, hey, that's Don, the fucker that stole someone's kid. And then they report him and they get caught and the kid goes home.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Or like in the instance of
Or-
last night, someone can just report it when, yeah. Anyway, it's not a big deal.
Well,
Like
if anyone
an
woke
Amber
me
Alert
up
that
for
would
that
say-
reason, I'd be fucking angry.
That BradWOTO had a child in his sleep.
There were people calling the 911 apparently to complain.
Oh,
So-
dude, I'd be the
It
first
was
one
a
there.
nightmare.
I'll be the first one there. Like, dude, what the hell is this text?
Oh, God.
You know, if my own sister's newborn child went missing and she texts me in the middle of the night, I'd be annoyed. Come on. I'm trying to get some sleep here. What do you think's more important than that? Nothing is the answer.
Brad, you can turn up your makeup gain.
I'm trying, but I don't. I did it, but I don't
I
think.
thought you said
it's-
makeup game.
Makeup gain.
Can you turn up your makeup game, please? All right,
Still
how's
get
that?
episode.
That's better, isn't it? Look at that. How's that sound? Am I sounding fresh? Based on
Fresh
what
as a
I'm
cream
seeing on the
pie.
screen, that looks correct this time. Yeah?
Just came out the oven. Let it go.
Listen, I don't normally drink carbonated drinks, as you all know, but I've been forced to right now by the gods because there are no cups in my house to drink my chosen beverage of choice from, and so I'm having to drink this absolute. Ugh.
Why are there no cups, Bradley?
Because they are being cleaned. Frankly. They're all being cleaned by a machine which cleans. All right. Do I sound better now? Does that sound okay? I think it sounds okay. I don't know. Would anybody
Just turn Noodle into a house elf.
Noodle's cleaning it? He is a house elf at the moment.
Noodle is the machine.
Oh no.
Okay.
Noodle, I love you. I'm sorry.
Right. Here's what we're gonna do. I am going to hand the reins over to Wax Steven to take us through the next 2 minutes of introductions. And that is because I'm gonna go and pee. Because I spent so long prepping that I forgot to pee. And I need to do that now.
He's got a urinate. Ooh.
All right,
I-
Brad. Not a problem. I'll handle it.
I think Wax
Just go.
Stevens.
Just
I think Wax Stevens got it.
Just go.
And
Just go. Just leave. Welcome to the show, everybody. I have no idea what's going to happen on today's Darkfire. The only thing that I know is that Brad said that we are probably going to be in for a wild ride today. So I have no idea what's going to happen, but let's go around the room and do some introductions. PB, why don't you go first?
Hello. I am Pumpkinberry. The person Brad just, I think it was unironically humiliated for being annoyed by an Amber Alert and missing child about 5 minutes ago. So lesson learned. I feel like poop. Thank you, Bradley. Yeah, and I'm excited for today. Should I talk longer because it's going to take him a while to pee?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be. What are the bets in chat on how long Brad takes to pee on
I
average?
bet he's back in 10,
Do you
9.
think? Do
Really?
you think, does Brad come across as a long
7.
peer? Like,
Well, there he goes. He's back already.
4, 3, 2, and there he is.
I'm back. I'm
thought
actually.
she had
I gotta
wireless
go
headphones
again now
on.
because
That's-
I've lost my dog.
Wow, I was
we're
really
connected to
fucking
the
I've
mind.
lost my dog. Please,
Oh.
someone send out an Amber Alert to everyone's phones. I lost him. There he is. Come here.
Tiger, why don't you go next?
Hi, I'm Tiger Rider. I am going to touch my thigh.
Inner, outer.
Oh, inner. Definitely inner.
Found him.
Would you like to see? Oh, dog's found. No presidential alert today.
Oh my god.
There's an Amber Alert that goes on when Tiger touches his inner thigh. That's why PB got disturbed so many times last night.
Damn it, tigers!
Oh god.
I wasn't attacking you, PB. I was genuine. If there was ever an Amber Alert
I
on my
thought
phone,
it was
I'd be
I
moody.
thought it was thinly veiled shade, and I was impressed. I was like, all right, fair enough.
No,
I should
I
not
don't
bitch about
thinly
it.
veil my shade. I just outright artillery strike anyone who I need to show. Well, presidential alerts aside, Amber Alerts aside, here we are. I hope you've all gone and sent your congratulations to the
Baby Hasmel.
baby Hasmel.
I'll do my intro now. I'm just going to talk over Brad, by the way.
I thought you
Hi,
already
I'm Wax
did it.
Steven.
Oh.
No. I'm Wax
no.
Steven. I'm the GM of Doom. And
Don't they already know who we all are by now?
Zero
No.
Blue Orion yesterday. If you want to check that out, it's posted to the YouTube.
Yes.
Go check it out. It's
That's
dope.
really fucking
It's
good.
anime.
Oh, it was so
says
fun.
AF and super mecha, and we do all kinds of cool sound effects. And I think it was really good. I think we nailed it last night. So go check it out.
It was.
That's it for me.
Super good. So, I think today is going to be an interesting episode of Darkfire for y'all, for a multitude of different reasons. I can hear weird noise, and I'm curious as to whether it's coming from me or someone else.
You, I think.
You.
What is that noise?
100% it's you.
What is
It's an
it?
Amber Alert. It's an Amber Alert.
Amber alert? Is it gone?
It's
Is it gone?
no, it's not. It's because you bumped your makeup gain. So go into your Go XLR and just change your threshold for your gate.
But that was the one thing.
Well, not your gain.
Aha.
Your gate.
There we go. How's that?
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah.
Better.
Pretty good?
Better.
Better?
Yeah.
Better or worse or just the same? All right. Every single Tablestory show that has me at the helm at the moment starts with this like 25-minute audio tech issue thing. Overall, it'll be worth it, okay? Isn't that right, Karen?
I hate you.
Yes.
Listen, trust me, you want us to have these tech issues. That way we can produce such great quality like Karen.
Go on.
Nope. So is the audio okay? No, noise is back. Fucking
Really, truly, you have to watch all of our shows to get these jokes, fam. If you don't know what we're talking about, you got to go watch ZBO's opening.
Yeah,
You got to do it.
you really do. Okay, I don't know what's causing noise. I'll figure it out as we
It's
play.
gone now.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fixed it.
Oh, it was an Amber Alert, everyone. That's what it was. We need an Amber Alert emote for whenever the sound is wrong. An Amber Alert must go off in chat.
That is
It'll
too
just
far.
We're gonna replace all of our.
On the front. It might as well say front on the microphone.
We're gonna replace all of our emotes with just like specific meme emotes, I think. But tables to nut. What was it?
Nut sauce.
I think it's
story
it's
sauce.
it's story sauce. Yeah.
Story Source will be appearing soon enough. And if you want to know what that means, Zero Blue Orion. That's the last time I'm going to mention it. Because if you
I
don't,
mean, I'm pretty
watch
sure
it-
you can figure it out.
I don't think you can. When you think about specifically, really, what? There's no way. There's no way.
Okay.
Let's jump into the game, shall we?
Please,
We're
God.
playing some Final Fantasy D&D 5e Light JRPG BradWOTO edition. Last time was a significant episode. Some pretty crazy shizzes went down. And I wasn't expecting it either. The group, while still in the frozen tundra of a time that they believe to be in the past, ended up fighting a dragon. Basically, they got lost in a blizzard, stumbled into a dragon's hunting grounds. It, just to make matters worse, it was the mama dragon of the previous dragon that they had encountered and defeated. This time, they were not so lucky. Each of them kind of tried to figure out their way around, whether they should fight the thing, whether they should run. Olds ran real fast in this snow.
Forrest gumped the shit out of it.
And he
Like
Forrest
Sonic.
gumped his way out of there. And but the other three remained, pretty much trying to, you know, save each other, figure out a way around it. Drift went sort of full mad lad. He went running in. I hear it again. No?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Your threshold on your gate has to just be bumped up a touch.
How about that?
Better.
We'll have to see. All right, I'm just going to keep bumping it up until it's done, but we'll see how this works out. Yeah, so the three of them ended up kind of having to face down this dragon. But I would say that the tactics that you used to defeat this slightly more difficult dragon than the one that you did defeat weren't very good. You
What tactic?
you are dragon slayers officially, and you've learned how to defeat a dragon, and it's, you know, spread out away from the breath attacks and then just burst it down with as much damage as you can do, hoping that it doesn't recycle its own breath attack every turn. What you did was, shall we run? No? Yes? Okay, he's attacking. Where's Olds? And then all three of you lined up and the breath attack got you. I can confirm that all three of you were eaten by Mama Dragon. And Olds ran away. At the end, the three of you were in between life and death, let's say, when you heard the voice of Hasmul say that you had failed your pursuit. And in doing so, he was able to complete his part of the bargain, which is to fling you to one of the varying planes of existence that are out there. Planes of existence, multiverses, etc. And he did so. And each of you rolled a D100 to determine where you would go. Today we find out where each of you went. But first, there is a little something that I've prepared for you. Because something else has happened out there in the world. Something which is going to affect all of you. And the only way to show you that is by showing you a little something I put together. We have a cutscene. A cutscene today. And I'm going to play that for you now. When we return, we will continue with the actual gameplay. Enjoy!
Just a pitiful fire elemental. And we thought you were a genie, Hasmul. We prepared endlessly for this. I gathered every artifact I could find that would protect me from the most powerful elemental attacks. But you disgrace the Guardian name.
It's not over.
That's 3 of your kind I've defeated now, but you I've been instructed to destroy.
This is not the end. Interloper. I have failed my pursuit. It seemed such a simple one when my master bestowed it upon me. Protect the gate of fire. Protect the gate of flame. Eons ago I was formless, but I was bound to it, and its power flowed through me. With the last of my energy, I send myself to you. As the power of the gate once flowed through me, warriors, it now falls to you and you alone. Mortals, travel deep into the gate and stop the interloper. Do not allow him to finish his ritual. If Bania breaks through, it will be too late. When your new power awakens, summon yourselves to the gate and complete our pursuit.
Well, well, well. There we have it. So, the part that you heard at the end there is what all of you heard. Each of your characters heard him speak to you directly, and that was what he said. First of all, I need to rejoin as a player as usual, and we're going to now visit each of you as you appear wherever it is that you appear. So, first of all, Iridir. You find yourself somewhere. You probably feel a bit like you have awoken from a deep sleep. Something akin to a deep sleep, at least, the way that your body would feel. You'd feel very, very tired, very kind of probably sickly, a little headachy. But in terms of physically, you feel kind of brand new. Immediately, you find yourself in what appears to be a very dark nightscape around you, something like a forest or maybe a bog. You can hear the sounds of the night around you, creatures, fireflies buzzing around. There is a huge full moon that is casting a decent amount of light that you can see down upon yourself. You are wearing nothing. You do not have any of your items, you do not have your clothing, you do not have, most importantly, a bracer on your arm anymore. As you begin to move and look around, you can see some lights a little further down out of the... You seem to be on the edge of a forest. There is a few twinkling lights of a village or a town not too far away. Maybe as you start to stand up, you can see that you are just on the edge of a path. And the moonlight hitting this village, tall shapes loom out of the fog which settles on everything. The ground below you is very muddy. It gives way to sort of slick, wet cobblestones that seem to make a road up that push forwards towards this town. There are tall shapes that you can see as sort of recognizable as village houses and dwellings, but not houses that you recognize in terms of architectural. They look very strange, and the houses that you've seen in Rosegard were somewhat Gothic in style. These look a little more like Renaissance style. It's a very different style, and you definitely don't feel at home here or that you recognize these houses. The windows of each of the houses ahead of you, as you start to maybe move towards this village, stare out from these pools of blackness, and there's almost no sound here apart from the night sounds that cut. Then suddenly there's like a scream, and it sounds like it comes from somewhere nearby towards the center of this village and this town. Out of curiosity, Wax Steven, is anything I'm saying to you, Wax Steven, does it spark any memories in you?
Is the town very downtrodden?
Yes, it is.
Is it raining?
There is a little rain, light rain.
I think I know where I am.
Where do you think you are?
Barovia.
You rolled on a D100 on a list that I made a long time ago. A 24. And at first when you rolled it last week, I didn't know what the demi-plane of dread was. I just saw demi-plane of dread and wondered what that meant, what that was. Then I googled it and could not believe it. And as somebody who has run Curse of Strahd twice, welcome to Curse of Strahd, welcome to the village of Barovia. You are in Ravenloft. Obviously Iridir doesn't know that. Again, you hear a scream though. Iridir hears a scream from relatively nearby, and it sounds like a woman. I'm not going to attempt to do it, but you hear a sharp scream pierce through this silence.
You had some sort of filter that you could apply to your voice.
I'm not doing the Karen scream.
Don't do the Karen voice.
I'm not doing the Karen scream. So, physically you feel fine. You feel a little odd, you feel a little shaken maybe after what you experienced. Pretty much the last thing you experienced was being attacked and brutally killed by the breath of a dragon. Then there was an odd moment where you were kind of in a dreamlike state, passing through something as an energy. And now you find yourself waking up here in this completely foreign country with whatever's going on around you. What would you like to do?
I look around for my things first and foremost.
Give me a perception check or an investigation check.
Everything?
You remember everything, and I mean everything. You retain all of your memories now.
I'm probably crying then. I'm so sorry. Morna, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I never meant to forget you. I'm so sorry. I want nothing more than to see your face again. But I can't leave them. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna look around and just see if any of my things are around at all.
Yeah. Give me a perception or an investigation check.
A 5.
A 5. It looks like there is nothing around you apart from this bog. There is a very rundown looking town. The first few houses ahead of you are just empty, broken down, roofs caved in, rubble. The center of the town has some lights on, dimly lit somewhere there. Your stuff is nowhere. You're just buck naked in the middle of this place. And it's cold.
Oh yeah.
You feel cold.
I look down and I notice for sure.
A little damp. You don't have your trinket.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to try and Adam and Eve it and see if I can grab some leaves or something to cover myself up. I don't care, but I feel like a crazy naked man running into town is going to cause some kind of a scene.
Yeah, give me a survival check, I guess.
That's a 5.
That is a 5. Making a sort of thatch set of underwear is not gonna be easy. Most of the leaves and stuff are cold and wet, and you gotta figure out like some string, like tie some grass together. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna have to head into town and find somebody or something, or spend a very long time crafting some thatch underwear.
Okay, and I heard a scream.
Yeah, I think you can hear more than just a scream as well. I think you can hear a commotion from a little further in. You're maybe only about 50 feet away from the first building, and you can hear some stuff going on. Like there's some odd noises happening further in the town.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and slink up to the closest building and kind of like look, try and get somewhere close where there's not really any lights around. See if I can go around the back of a house or something.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
That's a natural 1. We both got natural 1s.
I also rolled a roll there for a 1. 1 versus 1. Your stealth check is a 6. Let's see here. What do I want to do with you for that? I don't think you're very stealthy at all. Maybe you're feeling like an almost sort of like a summoning sickness here. Your body is not maybe immediately moving the way you want it to. Like you start to move forward, but you're kind of stumbling a little bit, almost as if, kind of like that Neo born in the Matrix stumbling around way. And I think you move towards the first building and then almost fall into it as you kind of stumble up to the edge of it, and it crumbles. A few rocks, a few bricks fall off the side, and behind you, you hear a noise. As you turn around, there is something shambling towards you. You see a person at first, before you realize that this is a corpse. Rotting skin falling off of a broken kind of bludgeoned skull, white eyes, and then a stench of just death. And it starts moving towards you. It appears actually to be moving towards the sound of the bricks and the rubble that you pushed over, because its attention appears to be focused downwards.
Question before we continue with this.
Yeah.
You said I felt fine. Mm-hmm. Does that mean that I have all my spell slots back?
Full spell slots, full HP. You are brand new. You just don't have any stuff, and that will affect your AC.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing is shambling towards the bricks and the rocks, which are maybe just a little to your side.
I cast invisibility on myself.
Cast invisibility. I wonder if a zombie's based on smell. Does it have smell-based perception? Like a Walking Dead one? No, it does not. You turn and you see this thing which appears behind you, shambling out from a nearby alleyway, and it turns its attention, starts moving towards the rocks, and you disappear. From behind you, you hear like a grunt, as if somebody is kind of hit against a wall.
I'm gonna check it out. I don't have a lot of time. I mean, I can concentrate up to an hour to do this, but I'm gonna see what that is first. But obviously, I'm cold. I'm gonna see if it's some kind of threat to me first.
Yeah, give me. Are you sneaking along again?
Yeah.
It's a little further down, like maybe...
I'm invisible, so...
Yeah, maybe a couple of houses down, and then down another alleyway, you'd guess, that you hear these sounds, and there's more shuffling again. It's a very quiet, kind of muted set of sounds that are coming from an alleyway. Shuffling and people pushing. Give me another stealth check and then a perception check.
Do I get advantage on the stealth check?
Yeah, sure.
14.
14 on the stealth.
And perception, you said?
Yeah.
Crit 23.
Damn. So, here's what I think happens. You move away from this other creature, and it's shambling towards you, towards the area where you are, and you just very deftly move away and quietly. Your feet don't slap against the ground. You start to feel the muscles wake up in your body, and you start to react, and all of your muscle memory comes back, and you start to move correctly. The creature seems to continue towards the bricks as you shuffle away at your own pace and then head towards the edge of this alleyway. You peer down an alleyway, and you see something else, another scene. There is further undead creatures, but there is also a person. You see a woman, a halfling woman. She looks kinda young, black hair that runs down her back. She's got kind of roguelike attire on, kind of like Assassin's Creed kind of hood, fallen back. She's got a little dagger at one side, and she's holding out two hands, a single-handed weapon with two hands, and looking around her at the various creatures which are moving in to her position. You can see that she's surrounded.
Red hair.
She doesn't have red hair.
Okay.
She looks like this. Here you go. She looks a little like this. She's armored. She's got some good weaponry on her, but she seems to be surrounded, and she seems to be a little bit injured as well. She pushes herself off the wall and starts to take stock of what is moving towards her, and you can see what's moving towards her, and I'm going to bring you to a battle map as we begin. And I think you are probably somewhere like there, and this is what you can see. It ever loads. Oh, I didn't click on it properly. Here we go. You see this. There's the zombie behind you. Down this alleyway, you can see this woman starting to maneuver herself. The buildings are so broken and worn in this area that you can see relatively well through each of them to these figures. In this house, there are two zombies moving towards her. She has her back to them. She doesn't seem to be aware that they're there. There are two shuffling down the street from her left, and then there's a much larger one moving in from her right. And I would like some initiative just from you. You're on your own. You're on your own, pal. Sorry.
20.
And, by the way, this is a Patreon NPC. Yes, finally, there are people around that can be Patreon NPCs. This is Dealey Glitterhands, a halfling rogue from our patron Missile Monkey. You're welcome, and thanks for supporting our channel on
Thank you so
Patreon.
much.
Let me roll. I'm gonna roll for all zombies. They get a 15. That is not good. And why doesn't this work? Let me try again. Try it again, please. Aha. Oh, there we go. 23. Natural 23 from Dealey, this woman. So she reacts first. And she brings up this weapon in front of her. She can't see you. She has no idea that you are there. You are invisible. And she runs suddenly towards the two on her left. And she is going to attack them with her short sword. She has advantage on both of these hits. She attacks first the one on the left, and then she'll attack the one on the right. Wildly swinging, she goes in. At 24 and a 22 are two attacks. I clicked the wrong thing again. So she goes running in. She swings the sword suddenly upwards at the first zombie, clears the top of its head off, and brings the sword downwards, turns it around, and shoves it backwards into the chin of the one behind her. She brings the thing back out and turns around to see this huge ogre zombie coming towards her as these two fall down behind her. She is actually injured, by the way. She has not got all of her hit points. So, she takes out two. She turns around, heavy breathing. She seems to have a couple of wounds on her. She's bleeding from a wound on one of her sides. And that brings us to your turn.
Okay. Judging from the zombies that I saw, did they have any weapons or anything? Or were they trying to attack her with claws or anything along those lines?
These just look like, these look like corpses that have come out of the ground. Not necessarily like they just died and rose back up. They look old and rotten and half skeletal. They just look to be like townsfolk, and they were just swinging at her with arms. And the two, when she approached, one of them kind of just did that classic like lunge forward, try to snap way. The other one kind of just tried to swing at her with a hand. They don't seem to have any weapons on them. Okay.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move over here. And while invisible, I'm going to yell to her. I'm going to yell to her, "You can do it! There's a few more! There's a large one in the middle of the street! Be careful!" And hopefully give her a bardic inspiration.
Okay. Yeah, she hears your voice, and she turns suddenly towards the direction where you are and looks up and down. She says, "Whoever you are, be careful. They are all around. Look below you, look above you. These are not the only ones."
I'm hiding. I'm very good at hiding.
Yes, they are not very clever, but you should be aware. They can smell very well.
And, yeah, I'll cast Healing Word. I'll cast Healing Word on her, and that's going to break my invisibility. Level 1. 9. That's a good one. That's max.
Nice. Yep. This healing magic comes out from somewhere, and you see. She reacts immediately, as if this happens to her like every day. As soon as you cast this spell, she she's hit by it. It does whatever it does to heal some of her wounds. You can see this wound that's on her side. Maybe it was pouring a lot of blood. Just suddenly heals and closes up somewhat.
Oh shit! Sorry. Yeah. Healing word is a bonus action. My bad.
Undoes all of that.
Yeah, I'll just do a vicious mockery then. Probably at one of the zombies I can see. My bad.
Okay.
Sorry, forgot. So that was 9 HP that I did not heal her for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna vicious mockery that one, and it's got to make a wisdom save or take 4 psychic damage. And I yell, "You're not even shambling properly! You look like you're about to fall over onto that piece of wood there. Now just do it quickly."
Its kind of head is snapping left and right, and you launch this spell at it. 12?
Nope.
4 psychic damage to this particular zombie here.
I told you!
You see it kind of like its head twists, but it just keeps shambling forward. Anything else?
And that's it for me.
Okay, that brings us to zombie's turn. Alright, let's see. First of all, I'm going to make 2 con saves. 1 and 2.
Oh, fuck off.
There's Undead Fortitude. If damage reduces the zombie to 0 hit points, it can make a con save with a DC of 5 plus the damage taken. Now, it took a decent amount of damage, though, to be fair. Each zombie took 8 piercing and 27 poison damage. So, neither of them pass because she has an awesome weapon. And they don't wake back up. But you do see... in fact, do you see it? Give me a perception check. Just give me a free perception check. See what you see. And I'll tell you whether you see it or we see it.
15.
A 15, yes. You do see shambling from the broken stairwell and appearing in a sort of broken, rundown piece of wall. You see another zombie appear in the house above where this woman is. Then, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to delete all these zombies because they're going on one turn and it's going to be confusing. These two are going to shuffle. Suddenly, they're going to just start moving forwards. And they don't move too fast, but yeah. They shuffle out onto this street towards this woman. This one, I think, just shuffles towards you. It doesn't know where you are, but it shuffles in your direction. You can see that it's heading towards the building you're in. Doesn't seem to be too preoccupied with the other woman. There is another much larger creature moving down the street as well. You can see that it's like an ogre or something it wasn't human in the first place, and now it is an undead beast. And this one is dragging a weapon behind it. It has a morning star, and it is dragging it down the street across these cobblestones, moving directly towards this woman. He is going to move his 30 feet, so he gets all the way up here. He's kind of blocking the whole street off, by the way. He's a big boy. And she...
Be careful, there's a large one coming!
Yes, I see him, thank you! And she just blitzes forward and starts swinging. She dives into these two very quickly and brings her sword down on the first one.
She does have bardic inspiration.
She does indeed.
Well. It's a D8 if she needs it. She does.
That is what she needs. Can you roll me a D8?
That's a 1.
Okay, that turns that 9 into a 10. But...
which I think is enough. I think it's a 10 for zombies.
It is enough. As she She hits the zombie. I've clicked that one again. This one. She just drives this through the eye of this zombie. The short sword straight into the eye of this first zombie. Bringing the sword backwards again, she swings it once more towards the second zombie. Cuts the bottom of its jaw off. And the blow seems to stop these guys in their tracks. They collapse in a crumple around her. But you can see that she's left herself kind of exposed somewhat to this ogre zombie as it starts to bear down on her. Bringing us to your turn, Hero.
Okay. I'm going to move myself over here. Can I still see the creature if I move over here?
I think you can pretty much see every creature, yeah, from there.
All right, then I'll move
Depending
over
on
there.
where that very specific square there. Okay, give me a dexterity saving throw. When I say creature, I don't mean hidden creatures.
19.
19. Yeah, you step forward and your foot kind of hits a broken, rotten plank underneath and crumbles a little bit. From the other side of this broken plank, a hand shoots upwards and launches out and tries to swipe at you. Below you is another zombie, and I'll put him here. And it starts to crawl its way upwards out of the ground. Breaking through these planks and swiping at the area where you are. You are still invisible, but it seems to be aware that you're there.
I'm not invisible anymore.
You're not? It's
It
trying to eat you straight up then.
Yeah. Okay. If that's the case, then I will activate my Mantle of Majesty. I gain the ability to cloak myself in fey magic that makes others want to serve me. As a bonus action, you cast command without expending a spell slot and take on an appearance of unearthly beauty for 1 minute or until your concentration ends, as if you were concentrating on a spell. I can cast command as a bonus action on each of my turns without expending a spell slot. Any creature charmed by you automatically fails its saving throw against the command you cast with this feature. Okay. I am going to check the commands that I can use because there's specific with the command spell. I will tell the zombie in front of me or next to me to flee as a bonus action. And then I will...
What do we need to do? A whiz save? It doesn't need to understand you,
it's
right?
a whiz save, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, wisdom saving throw.
The spell has no effect if the target is undead. Is it a command spell or is it part of this special bullshit?
It is a command spell. Oh shit, I did not know that. Oh well.
If it doesn't understand your language or if your command is directly harmful to it. Alright.
Okay, so if it's undead, then... yeah, it's undead. I guess Eero would just panic though, and he'd just do it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I did it. It is what it is. And if I see it just not paying attention, I'm gonna scream and just kind of rush like over here. And I guess it gets an attack of opportunity when I do that.
Indeed. It's gonna try and slam you on a 10.
So my armor is 12 without my clothes, I think.
Okay.
Because my dex bonus is a 2.
Yeah, I think
so
just a
that's a
10
minute.
plus 2. So yeah, you just jump out of the way of this thing as it is climbing up out of the ground. And you just jump and launch yourself out into the street next to these other bodies.
And then I will vicious mockery the one that was trying to go after me.
Yep.
And I just say, surely you have better things to do. Perhaps you can eat some boards or something.
Perhaps he can. And yeah, give me that one.
It's a 1 possible damage.
Okay, and wisdom save. Hello? There it is. 6 is a fail.
Yeah, so it takes 1 psychic damage, and its next attack is disadvantage against me.
All right. Zombie's turn. First of all, the zombie above you, behind you, drops to the ground, falls from the first floor, lands in a sort of puddle of broken bones, and then just gets up and starts shambling over. It's going to try and slam you as well. On a 17?
Actually,
no?
Brad, it should be a 2d4 on that cantrip. For some reason, it's not rolling right.
All right, give me the extra
Let me roll
d4.
another d4. Oh, so 5 damage on that zombie up above.
Yes. This one's going to hit you, though. And it's going to deal 2 bludgeoning damage to you. You kind of see this thing, it just hits you. Boom! It jumps on your back kind of thing, and you take 2 bludgeoning damage. This thing is now trying to snap and bite at your neck. The one which was crawling out of the ground towards you shambles over towards you as well.
My Mantle of Majesty drops.
Okay. This one is going to do the same thing. A 9 is a miss. This one just doesn't quite make it to you, I guess, just swiping at you, and this one jumps on your back, and you're now noticing these zombies all around. The woman seems to be preoccupied with the big ogre, to even see what's going on behind her and see what's going on with you. She is going to be attacked by this guy as he runs at her.
Yeah, it was actually a natural 1. It was disadvantage because of vicious mockery.
Ah, a natural 1, indeed. I love a natural 1. Let's go with... Roll me a d20.
9.
9. You have halved his speed. On any normal person, he would have pulled a muscle, but I think he pulls his whole leg off. And he just starts kind of crawling towards you for the next one. But he still makes it there. This guy, the ogre zombie, he is going to attempt to swing at the woman. On a 9, he misses, and then on a natural, roll me another d20. It's a natural 1. These zombies are zombies. Zombies are zombies. We'll bring this back. A 1. Your weapon falls from your grasp and lands 10 feet away, just at Iroh's feet. This giant morning is huge. Giant morning star just he swings it at this woman and she ducks. And he swings it again.
Brad?
Pretty big. It looks like a greatsword sized morning star as it swings through the air and just hits the cobblestones, and I think it lands like at your feet. Like the camera follows this thing down and it slides across to you. It's very large looking, this morning star. Not so big that you don't think you couldn't pick it up. We're not talking tree trunk, but pretty big. And the ogre zombie just looks like it's going to bear down on this woman and try and bite her as she brings her short sword up in an attempt to strike at him. That is a hit, and also she's just going to swing twice. 2 hits. She is going to deal a grand total of 33 plus
40, 71 damage.
291 damage. Amazingly, it's not enough. That really is 71 damage. She like she just thrusts this short sword upwards, and it just goes into this thing's chin, comes out the top of its head, and then she, oh no, she can't get the sword out from its head. It kind of stumbles backwards, and then looks down at her, and she just, oh dear, oh no, and she lets go of her sword.
What's wrong?
She turns around and sees you for the first time. My sword is stuck in his skull. It's okay, I got this. There are 2 zombies next to you.
I see that.
So that brings us to your turn. She doesn't move.
All right. So the morning star is directly at my feet, yes?
Correct. Oh, into his health.
That I think is a martial weapon. I'm not mistaken.
Definitely. I think I have the weapons as a handout.
Yes.
A Morning Star is a martial weapon, yes. I mean, you can pick it up.
I don't think Eero would try. He'd look at the weapon, think about it for a moment, and then say, not really my cup of tea. I will... As a bonus action, I will cast Healing Word upon her. Level 1. That's an 8. Not bad.
Nice.
And then I will then cast Vicious Mockery again. This time at the zombie above me again.
Okay.
And that's 7 damage. Wisdom DC 16. Wisdom save.
That is a 16. Makes it, breaks it.
Unfortunate. So I see that I have no effect on this creature, and I will...
It's going to bite you.
I will... If I move, and gets another free hit. No, I'll stay where I am.
Okay. Zombies. 1 attack coming in. 21. 2 attack coming in from the other side. 16. 2 hits as you take 7 bludgeoning damage from one, and then 6 from another. These 2 now just bundle into you. One grabs you, sinks its teeth into your like shoulder area. Classic. Chews on you. The second one probably just slams into you and starts to try and bring its way up you. It's ripped its own leg off, so it's just clawing at you and scraping at your bare flesh, trying to sort of climb up you and topple you over to eat you. Then Ogre Zombie is going to... He doesn't have a Morning Star anymore, so he is just going to try and grapple and grab... He's going to try and grab the woman in front of you around the face. Contested Dex versus Acro, or Strength versus Acrobatics check. Oh, she actually barely makes it. You see him kind of swing a huge hand down towards her, and she jumps backwards. She will on her turn, she's going to jump all the way backwards, give him the opportunity to hit one more time as he swings for her to grapple at her. A 19. Don't fuck it up, Dealey. An 18. She tries to jump backwards and you just see him like Resident Evil Nemesis style just grab her by the face and stops her from going anywhere as he grapples her, just and he starts to lift her up. She can on her turn use an action to try and break free, so I'm going to give her another acrobatics check, which is a 12. Can he beat a 12 on a strength check? He can with them by 1 again. You see her hands come up. She grabs at the hand that's got her by the face as this thing tries to lift her up and begins to crush her skull. Hero, it is your turn. There are 2 on you as well.
This is bad. This is bad. I will then cast Healing Word upon myself. At level 3. For 15.
Damn, son.
Exactly full. And then I will then use a vicious mockery at this large ogre zombie creature and say, surely she can't be that appetizing. She's very small. There must be other creatures you could consume somewhere in the forest. Much tastier than her.
Nice
and
one.
That is max damage.
With save coming in on a 4. You're dealing 8 damage to him.
Yes, and he has disadvantage on attack rolls.
Yeah, you see him kind of like he's lifting this woman up and his mouth is pinned kind of to a sort of half open state with this sword which is jutting out at the top of his head, and his tongue is being cut on the sword as he kind of like, and then his head twists one way. You see one of his eyes roll like 360 in his head as this psychic damage is dealt to him, and it causes him to squeeze a little tighter on this woman's head though.
Sorry, don't worry. I'll make sure you're all right.
Zombie's turn. 2 of them, which are biting you, are going to try and bite you some more, I guess. That's a 5 and an 11, which is 2 misses.
Yes.
You're like shaking these guys off, I think, and they're kind of just dumb and they're reacting to it as you're struggling with them and launching off this vicious mockery. The ogre zombie, I'm just going to crush her head, I think. That's what I'm going to do as the ogre zombie. Let's get a strength check. That's a 23. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Let's see, what would be a good crush amount of damage from a big ogre zombie? Probably a d12, right? Plus strength, plus 4? Yeah, that seems about fair. He starts to crush her head. He deals 15 damage to this woman. As you see, this hand is just over the front of her face, and she's probably suffocating in there. He starts to crush this woman, bringing her down to this amount of HP.
Now, he has disadvantage, so I don't know if you want to consider this an attack, but that would have been a 10 as opposed to the 23.
No, I think he's got her in like a, you know, like when a giant toad eats someone and just starts to automatically deal damage every round. That's where he's at. Because in my head he now looks like Nemesis, and that's why. I was just giving him a strength check to see like how severe I wanted this damage to be, you know, and it was high.
All right.
She's gonna try and break free though, with an acrobatics check versus another strength check from him. She's rolled a 17. He rolls an 11. In a sort of desperate bid, you see one of her legs come up and push off of his chest, and his grip is suddenly loosened as she hits the ground, rolls over, and you can see that her face is a little kind of damaged. You can see that one of her eyes is very bloodshot, and like her mouth has some like bloodied marks around it as she rolls over to one side. She starts to feel around on her side for a weapon.
There's a morning star on the ground.
She turns around. A morning star, not really my thing, but she starts to crawl towards it. Your turn, though, hero.
All right. This time I cast a healing word upon her. Level 1 for now. For 6 health. That's minimum, of course. I say to her, don't worry, you'll feel better soon. And then I look towards this large creature again, and I say to it, you do realize that you have a sword through your brain? Surely by now your brain must have realized this. And that's another vicious mockery.
Alrighty.
It's a 4.
That's a 10. Wow. That brings him down to 2 HP, Wax Steven. Yeah, he just kind of struggles to do anything as you're hitting him with this barrage of psychic energy. He's still kind of stumbling forward towards this woman who's crawling away from him on the ground. End of your turn?
End of my turn, yes.
2 zombies are going to try and mess you up. 16 and a 12.
The second one is a hit. I'm sorry, both are hits. Both are hits.
Both?
Yes.
4 bludgeoning damage from one, 7 from another. Probably some slashing damage in there as they're swiping at you again, biting at you. You've got these bite marks appearing on your body. The ogre zombie is going to attempt to
Disadvantage.
stomp on this woman with disadvantage. A 12. Her AC is 15. She rolls one way. This foot comes down next to her, and she just bigger they are, harder they fall. Yes, and she starts to hook it. Another foot's going to come down towards her as she disengages, but doesn't disengage. Maybe she can disengage. You know what? No, she cannot. She's not a true rogue. 10 versus her AC. He misses again. She runs to you, picks up the Morning Star, comes back, swings the Morning Star at him. She just has to roll a d20. A 5. She swings the Morning Star at him and hits his belly, but it just bounces off. Luckily,
it's like that cannonball, old school.
Yeah,
big.
Guy like she just whoa. She like you can see she's struggling. She's not very strong necessarily. She lifts it up again. Okay, this'll do it, and she swings once more. A natural 1. Why don't you roll me a d20 again, Mr. Wax Steven? For another critical failure.
A 9.
9 again. This time she pulls a muscle. It's too hard for her to lift this thing up, and she just drops the Morning Star. Forget this. She pulls out a light crossbow. Your turn.
All right. I will look to the large creature again, and I say, your brain is cleaved in 2. You should be lying on the ground. And that's a vicious mockery. For 2 damage.
Exactly the amount that you need. He just
Yes, like that. Thank you.
forwards.
A healing word upon on myself.
Okay.
Seven.
Nice. Yeah, this zombie just lands backwards. The zombie ogre crumples in on itself. Its brain is destroyed. It can't move. It's just done. The sword is still wedged deep within its cranium, though. The 2 zombies are going to attack you once more. A 12 and a 21. 2 hits, 2 slams. Again, 4 bludgeoning damage and another 3 as they swing themselves at you wildly. The woman is going to fire her crossbow at 1 on a 10, 2, 24.
They have AC of 10 on regular zombies.
Yeah, they're done. She just pulls this thing out and just, okay, shoots off 2 crossbow bolts towards these two zombies and deals with them very quickly. Boom, boom. The 2 zombies take 2 crossbow bolts to the head and they fall down beside you, ending this combat for now, as all the rest of the zombies are magically, and I mean magically, unaware of you. You see this woman kind of like stumble a little as she moves over towards this ogre zombie. She puts one foot on the bottom of his jaw, gets her hands around the sword that was jammed in, and pulls the thing out. This fucking place is accursed. I hate it here. Who are you?
So I'm all covered in gore and muck and grossness. I'm just trying to clean it off of myself in my naked glory. And I say, I walk over to her and I just sort of extend a hand. You can call me Eero.
You are Irina?
No.
She extends her hand. Eero. Sorry, your accent is very strange.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
Perhaps you would, She reaches into her pack and pulls out a set of halfling trousers that look like shorts to you and says, "These might not fit you, but perhaps you could cover yourself up."
If that's what you'd like.
Yes.
All right.
You do not wear clothes.
It depends on the mood, but I found myself, in unfortunate circumstances today.
Where is all of your stuff? Why do you have no weapons? What are you doing here naked?
Very good question. One that unfortunately I can't answer.
Are you from this town?
Not exactly. I don't think so. Doesn't look familiar.
Well then, I suppose we can move into town together. I am covered in all this shit now. Disgusting. My sword is, Do you need a sword? Or a dagger? Or a quarterstaff, perhaps?
A dagger would be preferable. If you
Okay.
have an extra.
Here
I don't
you go.
want to put you out.
As she looks at you, her eyes widen, and she drops the dagger at your feet and stumbles backwards. Your eyes. Are you okay?
What's wrong with my eyes?
You can see her face kind of lights up as if a torch is being lit in front of her. And she stumbles backwards and grips her sword. You. What are you?
What's wrong?
Tell me who you really are. Demon.
I'm no demon. They call me Eero.
That is where we switch to another character. Now, let's visit another character here. One who we haven't seen since last week. Now let me just make some changes to my little overlay here. $19. It's been some time. You passed through the mirror. You witnessed this woman who was holding out an arm to you. Before you were able to reach out to her, before you were able to take her hand and go with her to wherever she was in this forest, Hasmul interrupted you and cast you to another plane of existence. You went to the quasi-elemental plane of vacuum. For all intents and purposes, practically space. The first 24 hours here were probably relatively difficult, I would imagine. The confusion, the loss. By now, after what is essentially several days, I'm not sure if you're even able to really tell time or how much time has passed. But by now you've probably tried everything. Magic, you've probably prayed, you've probably tried calling out until your voice is scratched and broken. And after, again, who knows how long, likely you fell into an exhausted contemplation, a sort of forced meditation. And that's when the shadows came. Figures of people that you once knew. These sort of specters of strangers, mostly taking the form of those that you've met, also taking the form of people that you didn't know. Some they spoke to you, some they didn't. The endless nothing around you permeated by these strange manifestations, these dangerous figures. And they materialize around you, and they're probably quite difficult to see. They are shadow forms on black. Today, most of the shadows are amorphous. And they appear around you. Sometimes they attack, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they speak to you, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they lay just out of reach. You've probably figured out that you can move around somewhat, the same as space. You can kind of swim somewhat. You can even cast certain spells that allow you to propel yourself around. But it's kind of useless. It's a waste of energy for a lot of the time. Today, a figure appears in front of you that you recognize. Just out of reach, just ahead of you, you see the form of your Warforged comrade, Heavy. Surrounded again by these shadows. There are some amorphous ones, and you can see them. They move. They're like blobs that are shifting around you. Just as a reminder, you do not have a bracer anymore. You do have your stuff unlike Ero, you still have everything you had when you were cast out. Your death was different. The form of Heavy appears again in front of you, and as this shadow takes form, he speaks to you and says,
Give up, 19. Your precious life force runs dry. It does for us all eventually. But yours runs dry now, here in this moment. Give yourself over to us. Give up.
He sits in silence.
the shadows that are around you. Give me a perception check on those.
$25.
25. Yeah, you can make out that there are 6 other shadows, and they're kind of just amorphous blobs. Relatively similar to when you guys had to fight with Drift, what he saw. These weird shadowy figures. They would look like that, kind of almost like smoky, ghostly figures that are... They don't take any shape. They're not humanoid or anything. They just kind of shift and change oddly. The one which takes a kind of shadowy form and makes a relatively good sort of version of Heavy continues to speak to you. He says,
You don't even know where you are. You don't know why you are here. Come now, join us. We can give you purpose.
Nods his head to listen to more.
the other group have spoken to you at this point. Just some hours ago was your last interaction. Every so often, and it seems very split, you have heard from Drift. Did anyone else call 19? Was it just Drift?
It was just Drift, I think.
I think it was just Drift as well. Several hours ago, you heard from Drift, and he said that he was coming to get you and stuff like that. Oh, Rin did? Rin spoke to you as well?
Oh, that's right, Rin did. I think it was just Drift, to be honest with you, but are you sure it was Rin? Did Rin do it as well?
I trust chat over my memory.
Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah, you did. That's right, because I remember you were really mad because he was really short with you.
When they were speaking to you, there were no shadows around, but you have also spoken to various forms of Drift, Rin, Hero, Janfire, some of the other characters you've met. There was a blood grip, a telltale blood grip that appeared. These varying figures that speak to you from the shadows. However, these few instances, there were no shadows around. Now in front of you, the version of Heavy speaks to you again.
The voices in your head are getting worse. The mania will set in, and then you will be lost even to us. Give yourself over to us.
His amber eyes shut off, and he gets into silence. He's still listening, but it's almost like when he's trying to sleep, he's in complete silence and he's ignoring all the voices.
The 6 shadows around you move a little closer. They almost move within range of you being able to grip at them, and then they hover at the edge.
If you will not join us willingly, we will try to take you again.
amber eyes open up.
Again. Good luck.
You've fought these things before. Every now and then, they will come at you violently. The figure of Heavy says,
You call yourself 19. Why?
He just stares at the figure.
We know you as something called Phantom.
Why don't you tell me more about myself?
We can tell you everything you want to know. Your every whim and desire. All of your memories. Join us, Phantom.
Sits in silence again, stares at the figure.
The shadows are pretty close now. They start to move a little closer to you again. 6 separate forms, but they kind of shift and change, various different heights. They briefly take the form of 6 men in arms. Give me a history check. Just a random history check.
I'm going to do a history check, but I would also like to do something else, Brad.
Okay.
As the forms are getting closer and closer and closer and closer, can I ask what these are? What are they considered, these shadows, as far as a creature base?
Give me the history check and then give me a nature check disadvantage.
Okay, so history 20 crit and nature with advantage
Disadvantage.
3.
You have no idea what these are.
Okay.
These things, they're just shadows. They're just weird manifestations. Part of you isn't even convinced that they're real. That it's just your brain just wearing down out here, and it's just your own sort of anxiety causing these things to happen. But mostly you don't know. The figures that appear around you are wearing old armor. And by old armor, I mean that the armor looks like an older version of the armor that you've seen a lot of the Alexandrians wear in the small amount of time that you spent in Roseguard. You will have seen a lot of military stuff. And they have Alexandrian armor up. And the Alexandrians are very kind of Viking-like, Nordic. They have these like round shields and these kind of horned hats. And these thick leather hide sort of armors a lot of the time. The figures around you take that kind of shape. They're definitely wearing Alexandrian armor from during the 100-year war. The Alexandrians are the force that you and the other soldiers fought against for Thelmecia. As these forms take shape around you, Heavy says,
So many have failed. In front of you, you have killed hundreds, maybe thousands of men, women, soldiers, husbands, fathers, mothers, wives. Join us. Join them. And you will be able to forgive yourself, Phantom.
I've already forgiven myself. I don't need your help. I realize that I'm here forever. You can't hurt me. You're not real. You never have been. You're not Heavy.
No, I am not. But I am real. And you will not be here forever. Eventually, even you will die. And where do you think you will go? Back to your plane? No. You belong to us now. You live here now. with us in the
I
shadows.
belong to no one now that this bracer is off of me. You will not own me, nor will anybody, ever again.
The shadows are now completely within range of you. They're all around you. The form says,
Very well. Have it your way if you wish.
and I am going to need some initiative, please.
Can I ask you a question, Brad?
Of course you can.
So back before we started, when I said I wanted to do something else, will you still allow me to do that?
Let me see if I can remember what that was. When you messaged me, let me check.
No. Like
No?
a few minutes ago, I was going to cast a spell, but if we're already moving on, I'm not going to cast anything.
Sure. Don't cast it. Let me see. The shadows are moving towards you. Heavy shadow is above you.
19 for initiative for me. I forgot to click on my thing.
Okay. 19 and a 19 again. Let me just double check for my own stuff. There we go. I can hear music coming through from your
Am I right
plane of
now?
existence. Yeah.
Can you still hear it? Because you shouldn't be able to.
Little bit. Not that bad. 5. All right. All the shadows are going to go on the same turn.
Okay.
You react first. These shadows are actually here. Like this. They're all close. Your movement is halved, by the way, and it's kind of like a swimming that you'll have to do. What would you like to do? It's your turn.
The first thing he is going to do, and I need to look at something real quick. 10 feet, 10 feet, 10 feet, 10 feet, 10 feet. So I need to read something real quick. So since there's no floor, there might be a spell that may not matter because there's no floor, right?
Depend. What are you trying to do? There is no floor now.
Okay. So magic circle would not matter. I'd put a chat for you.
Yeah. Give me that spell.
Apparently it's gonna make me cast it if I do it. So here's the hope
Yeah,
that puts
that's
it. There you go.
Magic circle. A 10-foot radius, 20-foot tall cylinder centered on a point on the ground that you can see within range. I think this would probably be fine. Medical energy centered on a point. You can center it on yourself, I guess. Glowing runes appear wherever the cylinder intersects with the floor or other surface. Choose one or more of the following types of creatures: celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead. The circle affects a creature of the chosen type in the following ways. The creature can't willingly enter the cylinder by non-magical means. If the creature tries to use teleportation or interplane travel to do so, it must succeed on a charisma saving throw. And then they have disadvantage. Okay, yeah. I think that's fine. You can just center that on yourself.
Time 1 minute.
Huh?
Casting time 1 minute.
Casting time 1 minute.
Casting time is 1 minute
Yeah,
for that
that's
one.
a long time.
Oh, I just got it, so I didn't know. So I guess we will not be doing that, sadly. That's kind of too bad, though. That would have been pretty dope.
That would have been.
Because I would have called every creature, because I don't know what these are. Well, in that case, then I guess we're just going to have to do something that Brad's going to hate even more, and we're going to go ahead and cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay. I hate this one.
Yes, you do.
HJ Tenchi.
We talked about it prior. HJ Tenchi.
He used it
Call
every
for
time.
spirits to protect you. They fit around you in a distance of 15 feet for the duration. If you are good or neutral, which I am neutral, the spectral form appears angelic or fey of your choice. We'll say angelic because it looks cooler. You can designate any number of creatures you can see to be affected by it. An affected creature's speed is halved in the area, and when the creature enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts the turn in there, it must make a wisdom saving throw. On failed save, the creature takes 3d8 radiant damage. If you are good or neutral, man, I kind of wish I was evil because it does necrotic damage if it's evil. Yeah, and we're going to do that, and we're going to call all of the creatures in the area.
Yeah. So yeah, you launch this thing out, and you just glow. These spirits suddenly appear all around you. How do they look? What do they look like?
I would say that when it gets cast, the first thing you see is just like, it almost seems like the little area in his chest where it's kind of cracked, like where like armor would be sitting. You start seeing just kind of like think of like when you were watching the movie Ghosts and the ghosts start coming out and like the devils start coming up, but it's like angels and they kind of flow out of his chest and one kind of appears in front of one shadow and kind of like with a big spear, we'll say, like almost like a halberd type spear, like crunches it down on what it would be ground, and it just stares at each of the shadows. And I just say, must we do this again?
You will belong to us, Phantom.
And after that, I am going to, because that was my main action, I'm going to go ahead and pass the time.
All right, roll me 3d8. For at the beginning of the turn, they are all within the radius.
15.
15. And that is doubled. Because they are vulnerable to radiant damage.
Good.
So, yeah, all around you, these spirit guardians launch upwards and just start to disappear. Basically, these things just. You see that the shadows one by one are dispersed. They just disappear, as if you shone a light on them. Again, 6 of them, all gone. The form of Heavy speaks behind you.
It will not be enough this time.
You're going to challenge me again?
These are all dead. So I'll just delete them for ease of use. Heavy enters the fight.
A new challenger approaches.
A new challenger approaches. On a 12. Yeah, you see this other shadow start to bubble. The version of Heavy starts to, his form loses that rigidity of being a warforged like you, and he starts to bubble and change and shift.
This is it. This shall be your final moment.
What would you like to do? It's your turn again.
So, is he that far away from me? He doesn't move forward at all?
He is that far away from you. He seems to be shifting and changing in some way.
Okay. Just need to read something real quick. So he's not, you say, explain to me that he's not coming towards me?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'm coming towards him. I'm pretty certain of it. So he is. Let's see. I got feet. Oh, I'm halved, right? I'm halved.
Yeah, you got
halved.
Difficult terrain,
Okay.
basically.
So 15. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and you kind of see him sit there for a second, and you see him again. It's almost straight like Goku. And as he does that, he puts his hands together and he claps. And as he claps, he sacred flames Heavy Shadow.
Okay.
The Heavy Shadow.
Save from Heavy is an 11. That's a fail.
Mm-hmm.
And you deal 5 radiant damage to him, which is in fact 10, as he is transforming. Yeah, you see just this radiant beam of energy launch towards him as he's sort of bubbling and shifting.
Yes. Yes. Feed me more.
As you hit him with this radiant flame. Anything else?
We'll hold on to it. I am, however, though. How far away is he? I'm gonna move my movement.
Okay.
I feel like I shouldn't, but I'm gonna do it. Your turn.
The heavy shadow. He grows in size significantly.
Now then, prepare to join us.
As he grows larger and larger and larger, he starts to move towards you, and this form of him is weird looking. The metal that makes up this kind of shadowy form is now kind of bending and twisting out of shape. It looks like a weird kind of abstract Scream kind of painting where like the metal is bending and twisting in ways that doesn't make sense. Heavy's eyes are full red kill mode, and they're looking down at you, and they twist and change, and then there are 2 or 3 more that appear on his face. Another set of arms sprout out from his side, and they're not metallic. They have like these kind of weird demonic claws to them. And they just appear to be black, kind of shadowy clawed hands.
Darkfire.
He starts to move again towards you, but he does need to make another save. Is it a save?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me
Spirit
do that.
Guardians. Purchases blah 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 blah. Make a whiz save. $19 is a make, but he's still going to take half, I think.
Yep. Want to roll another set of D8, or does it just do it off the one?
I think you do it again. Yeah, give me another 3d8.
$16.
16, double. He crawls into this light, and you see it peeling off the kind of heavy armor, the version of him that was a Warforged, and behind this form is just a kind of twisted shadow. The top of his head comes out in like maybe 10 separate horns that twist off in different ways, almost forming a weird kind of crown on the top of his head. The armor is gone, revealing another arm. He has 4 arms. He doesn't have like a bottom half. It's kind of like a ghostly wisp, a shadow. And he starts crawling forwards as if he's actually gripping onto the vacuum itself. The radiant damage kind of burning away at him. He says,
No, you are mine.
and he is going to do something. This ball of energy moves towards you. This strange kind of almost electrified kind of black energy pushes out from him and moves at you. What is your AC?
My AC currently is, without the shield, it is 18.
18. Yeah, it hits you, and you kind of weather it. It kind of shakes the composite plating on your body. It feels like it's pulling it away from your physical makeup. But it stays strong. It doesn't seem to do any damage to you.
How are you able to resist this now?
Just like I resisted it last time you tried.
Fine then. This shall be your end.
He is going to cast Fireball
Good.
on you.
Left.
And himself. He casts it on you, but it's going to hit him. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
I know your weakness.
10.
10 is a fail. Now, I believe you are vulnerable to fire damage,
I am.
which means you will take double of 26. But do me a little favor.
Mm-hmm.
Look at your sheet. On there, the vulnerability to fire damage has been removed. The reason for that is because you are now immune to fire damage, and you can add that to your sheet. The fireball launches out. It completely engulfs you. As it hits you, I think this is the moment that you hear Hasmul speak to you. In the monologue that we heard at the beginning, where he said that he's failed his pursuit and that he passes on the power of the gate to you. He refers to warriors, the plural, even though you're on your own. He says that if Amun Barnia breaks through, it'll be too late. And when your new power awakens, summon yourself to the gate and complete our pursuit. And as this fire is washing over you, you see that form in front of you burning itself out of existence as the sort of heavy form of this twisted demonic figure, this shadow wraith, is burnt away. And your spirit guardians will have dropped, yet you are still lighting up around you. You're completely wrapped in these flames now. Your amber eyes taking on a whole new meaning as they are completely alight, and we see this burning version of you just pushing through in this endless vacuum now. You are completely on fire, but it is not from the fireball, it's coming from you yourself. You may now choose if you wish to summon yourself back
Yes.
to the material plane where you are from.
100%. They can all say welcome back.
You hear the voice of these shadow creatures again.
No. No. No.
And this form, this fiery version of 19, sort of implodes on itself and disappears from the quasi-elemental plane of vacuum. And now we shift again to another player. Welcome back, 19. Welcome back.
Have fun, next player.
Drift, he's not here. Rin. There you are. Your previous sort of memory as well was of being kind of completely obliterated from the dragon, the ice dragon, as it washed over you with this cold breath energy and literally ripped the life from your physical form. You were then left floating in this sort of endless nothing, and you had nowhere to go. Probably felt more lost than you've ever felt. Two figures, two other energy signals out there disappeared and left you alone for a moment before, in a very similar instance to what Iridir experienced, you find yourself waking up. Your body again, like Iro, feels brand new, but you physically do not feel very good at all. You probably feel sick, probably have a headache. You've experienced the words that Hasmul spoke to you as you sort of wake up from this sleep. But you wake up again, like Iro, completely naked, no items, no bracer. For the record, none of you have access to those mini quests anymore that came with the braces. Just in case anybody was curious. As you wake up, you find yourself in a very strange environment. You are laying on what seems to be sort of volcanic glass. It's cool, but not too cool. As your sort of vision comes to you and you come up from this very deep sleep, you can see that this room around you, and it is a room, it's sort of structure made entirely from volcanic glass, perfectly circular. And it's cracked and broken and open, but not in a way that seems like it's been left to ruin, but it almost as if it was made that way. You can see outside there are various holes and broken parts in the walls that reveal this endless landscape of flame. The structure you're in is moving, very slowly, almost floating across this landscape. And before you, at the end of a very long kind of hallway in this circular structure, there's almost nothing here. Very tall sort of spire above you. There is a throne, a huge black volcanic glass throne that twists and into peaks at the top, as if it's a fire of its own. Sat upon it is a humanoid man wrapped in flame of his own. And as soon as you kind of make eye contact with him, you can see that he is very relaxed, sat kind of slouched, one hand against the side of his arm of his throne, looking at you, waiting. As soon as you wake up and start to maybe move a little bit, he speaks to you and his voice pushes out across this thing. He seems to be very big. It's kind of hard and probably a little odd to try and work out, but he seems like giant sized as well. And his voice pushes out and he says,
And what do we have here? A child? Or a mortal? You must have come from very far away indeed. Child, you have wandered into my personal abode. I can see your confusion. You did not bring yourself here, did you, frail one?
No.
You find yourself inside the Undying Pyre. Welcome to the Crimson Pillar. This is the plane of elemental fire, and my name is Kosuth.
Kosuth?
he looks a little like this. Very humanoid looking, but he's part human, part flame. Nonchalantly, he kind of beckons to you to approach with a cold, flaming hand. He says,
Two of my children vie for the power of your world. No, just one now. I sense them about you. Fire and corruption. Which of the two do you serve?
Hasmal, but not by choice.
Hasmal. I know not of who this is. A servant of mine? An elemental? Something else? Tell me, child, who is this Hasmal that you serve?
I don't know, like a fire demon or something. Guardian of a gate.
A demon. Do you spend much time with demons, Mortal elf?
No.
Then why do you serve one?
Wait, what? Is he talking? Wait, I'm sorry. Can I roll an intelligence? Is he talking about someone else? Is he talking about Death Singer? Or is he talking about Hasmul? Can I roll an intelligence check, please?
I don't think you can. I don't think you know.
Okay.
I think this is a perfectly reasonable line of thought to have in and out of character, but
Oh my god.
there's no roll.
Okay. I serve no one. At least not anymore.
Yes. Perhaps serve me then. Serve the flame.
You said I don't feel warm, correct? Like
Yeah,
I feel,
you feel fine.
I don't feel anything at all.
You feel normal. You feel like you. It's warm in here for sure, but it's not like you're not boiling or anything, and the volcanic glass to your feet doesn't feel like it's burning you or anything like that. It feels cool enough.
Okay. Do I have much of a choice?
You always have a choice, mortal. Do you have family? Who is your father?
I don't know. I think of Eero and Drift, though. When he asks me if I have family.
You are something different. I sense it. What are you? What lies deep inside?
I don't know what that means.
There is something more in you, child. Something alive and burning, something bursting to get out. It's a fire and it must be awakened.
I just want to go back. Where are my friends?
They are most certainly not here. Wherever you are, they are not. Wherever they are, you are not. But I can return you if you wish. But you must serve me. You must serve the flame. When you return to your home, your life, you will pray to me and build in my name and begin the work of worship to me.
And if I say no?
Then you may leave the Crimson Pillar and see how far you get, alone.
And what do you want?
Pray to me and I will heed your prayer. I will guide you and those that follow you in my name, and I will make you powerful. You can become your own leader. You can follow in the footsteps of the one who created you and used you as a tool. This Hasmul, he is gone, no?
I think so.
Then who is next in line to his throne? Should it not be you? It can be you. Craft your own tools. Use tools to build whatever tomorrow you wish in the name of the flame.
Would I be able to stop Darkfire?
What is this dark fire you speak of?
I assume corruption?
The corruption. The corruption, yes. I sense it on you, but I do not sense it within you.
No, I turned him down.
Purification and destruction. Are these two things the same to you?
No.
Then how do they differ?
Purification has hope. Destruction doesn't.
Shall I purify you or destroy you, child? For those are the only two options left to you now in this place.
I serve no one.
Very well. Perhaps we will try and awaken this fire within. Will you allow me to try?
Oh boy. Oh shit.
As you move closer to him, by the way, he is ginormous. Like, super huge. The closer you get, you realize how big this room is. And maybe at first he looked kind of normal. You might be able to sit on the end of his finger.
Oh my god.
As you get closer and closer walking along towards him.
Am I able to roll arcane or anything like that? Did I read about this in any of the books, in any of the lore?
You may give me a religion check.
Yeah, do I have any inkling of who this fucking guy is? You said religion.
Mm-hmm.
Did it pop up?
Nope.
Roll 20, please. 9.
9.
Good luck.
I don't think you've ever heard of him.
Okay. No.
I understand. What power you have, it does not belong to you. What power you will grow into, that may be yours. There is something else about you. There must be a reason that you were placed before me. Tell me, why do you think that you are here in my domain, in my palace?
I think I'm being punished.
And what is your crime?
Betrayal, probably.
And who did you betray, child?
Preterda.
You can be stronger than that which you fear. Allow me to awaken your flame. Serve me. Serve that flame. Feed it. Become strong enough to take back the power that was taken from you in your mortal realm.
I'm probably thinking about Drift and Eero and even 19 and how they told me that my strength was with them. Specifically, Eero saying that I could count on him and that I wasn't alone. But then I think about the fact that they're probably dead. I said no.
A stubborn one, aren't you? Tell me, if I were to try and kill you right now, what would you do?
I'd probably try to fight.
You would fight and not flee?
No.
And if I were to open an exit?
And he just moves his hand upwards, and at the far end of the hall, you hear a crunching sound as a sort of opening appears in an archway. Beyond it, you can see that this thing is moving away and across this endless sort of flaming landscape. Like you can see on the image there are pieces of sort of ground. It's almost like you're inside of a volcano. Bubbling lava, maybe, all around, but portions of kind of volcanic rock as well. it doesn't look good out there, and it looks completely empty. Like there's no houses or anything like that.
Okay.
He points a
it's-
finger towards it.
Okay. Where does that lead?
That leads to wherever you want it to lead. But it is not here. Not here in my safety, in this place. Possibly the only place here on this plane where you will survive.
And you'll just let me leave?
Mortal, I have no power over you.
I fucking walk out.
So you start walking away.
Yeah.
It's far away though. Like it's like a few hundred feet, maybe more, and you just turn from this huge figure and start moving away towards this exit. As you're moving, he continues to speak to you.
Okay.
Child. You will not make it far. Serve me. Become my mortal arm in your realm.
I know I'm trying to act totally cool, but my heart is pounding. And I don't say anything. I just keep walking.
There's a crunch from behind you, and whether you look behind or not, the figure kind of moves forward in his throne, his hands kind of pushing to the edges of the seat, and he moves himself leaning at the edge of his seat.
I can give you whatever power you desire. Whatever it takes, child. Serve me, serve the flame. Do not go out there and die.
What did you say?
I said you can't give me what I want.
Tell me what you want, and I, Kosuth, Lord of the Flames, I can grant it.
Freedom.
Very well.
He sits down. The doorway opens a little more, and you carry on moving towards it.
Yeah.
They say that
I'm
death
like
is
fucking
freedom
sweating
too,
right now.
child.
Sorry, what?
Death
What did you
is
say?
freedom too.
Oh, fuck.
He leans on his arm again. As you start moving towards the doorway, it takes you a little while to move towards it, and you just start kind of moving. You walking? You running? What are you doing?
I am walking, sweating like mad. I'm probably looking around. I'm very uncomfortable.
Yeah, and you're in this moving pillar as it's kind of pushing across this lava, this landscape. The door eventually gets close enough that you can see out of it, and now that you're this close to the edge of just a ginormous archway, the archway's pretty big. It looks like he wouldn't fit through it, but like a giant would, a big archway, and it's just naturally kind of formed. There is a kind of like a wind coming in, or rushing, as if you're looking out the back end of a plane. And once you get close to the edge, you can see you're moving a little faster than maybe seemed at first. Underneath you, this rushing kind of landscape below you, and you get maybe to the edge and cling on and look down. The air is whipping at your hair, and you're probably about 60 feet up. Below you is just lava.
Okay. And on the other side of this doorway looks like more lava and shit, right?
You're looking out at just that on the screen, this just endless landscape of volcanic activity, maybe 70 feet down to the ground. There are areas of volcanic rock and stuff, but yeah.
Okay. I look back. Is he still just like chilling?
He's watching you from the other side, yeah.
Okay. Wish me luck, I guess. And then I'll walk over. I'll walk through the door.
You got to jump out of like a moon door here. You can do that? From behind you, he says,
This is your true test.
and you jump out. And there's probably just a what's the movie where he jumps out from the waterfall moment?
Last the Mohicans. Sorry, that's probably not the movie you were talking about.
It's not, but Harrison Ford jumps from the waterfall, but that'll do. You look down, you see this fiery volcanic landscape, and then just jump out, and naked you just fall. The fugitive, that's what it's called, fugitive style, is you just fall out of this thing, and we probably see a wide shot of this just huge column of volcanic rock moving across this landscape, and below it is just a volcano, and this very small figure, naked, hair whipping up behind you, falling down. As you are falling downwards, it is optional whether you say flame on. Your eyes light up Phoenix style. Your body, wrapped in flames, just sort of immolates as you launch towards the lava below.
And I'm sorry, I feel this, or I see this, or
you probably
I
see
obviously
it.
don't see my own eyes, but I'm
you
it's
see
like
your
my skin on
arms just
fire. Okay.
fire just pushes out across all of your body.
Oh God, I think I'm dying.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
It doesn't hurt though. And it's only for a second or two before you're about to make impact with what is essentially lava below. Behind you, you hear in the last few seconds,
As I expected.
and you boom, hit the lava. All three of you
What?
may return to the screen.
What? I'm not dead?
Good dog.
Kinda not dead, no.
I'm gonna cry.
There is one other who is out there still, yet to do his thing. What is happening to Hero Dear? There is another out there. Drift. But we'll get to him next time.
Oh my God.
The three of you activate your new abilities handed to you by Hasmel, the Fire Guardian. What this does, mechanically, is the following. You are all level 7. However, you must take the level in Sorcerer, and specifically, you are a Pyromancy Sorcerer, and your cantrip and spell list is restricted. So think of this like a free level, basically. It's just a side level. You get all the benefits of the level up, but it's restricted in a certain way. You can pick from a spell list, and I'll give you guys this in a minute, and you can choose, but there's not much going on. Your cantrip spell list is restricted to Control Flames, Create Bonfire, Firebolt, Green Flame Blade, and Light. And you take, just automatically, because this is what you get at this first level anyway, Absorb Elements and Burning Hands as first level spells. And we can do all this stuff after the stream. You don't need to worry about it now. You also
Because
get...
I didn't retain like any of that. I'm still.
I know, yeah. I'll hand it to you. I'm just giving it to you now in general. You also have this. Each of you has a feature known as Fire in the Veins. You gain immunity to fire damage. And in addition, any fire spells that you cast ignore resistance to fire damage on the other side. So anything you cast it against that might be resistant to fire damage will not be. The secondary thing you get is known as Heart of Fire. Whenever you start casting a spell of first level or higher that deals fire damage, fiery magic will erupt from you. That eruption causes creatures of your choice that you can see within 10 feet to take fire damage equal to half your sorcerer level. So you just do a little bit of fire. You can just immolate yourself every time. Well, you do. It's just automatic as soon as you cast a fiery spell. We need to do one thing, which is... in fact,
Vomit off screen.
Huh? Oh, vomit off screen, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess everyone roll me a d6 plus your con modifier.
D6 plus con modifier.
4.
Plus 4 permanent HP.
That's a 1.
Plus 1 permanent HP.
7.
And 7. Plus 7. So, I'll give you all that stuff that you can do in a bit. You all now pretty much have the option to flame on and flame off as well. You can just immolate yourselves in flame at will, and it doesn't do anything. It won't be anything more than kind of not real. My brain is just turned to mush in that moment. It's you can look fiery. The description that I gave each of you of what you look like when you were covered in flame. Iro didn't get that description, but he was turning into fire at the end of that. But I thought if I tell you what it's doing, then you all know what's going on, and I thought it'd be more fun if I slowly reveal a little more and more. But each of you can kind of turn on like a full body flame on thing.
So what do we see around us? Like what's going on?
Yeah, are we like you never really kind of finished that, Brad? Like how did we're all together, or what's going on?
Like, yeah, do we see 19?
Yeah, like what's going on with this?
I'll tell you.
Don't do it. Tell
Next
us now,
time.
you asshole. God damn it!
I'll tell you next time, because we need Drift. And he's not here. And 2 things that I thought were going to happen didn't happen. So
Oh, shit. Did you think I was going to say yes to this guy?
I wasn't sure. But
Oh, God.
I also prepared for some other stuff. So we come to a slightly premature ending of the episode because you're going to want to be a group, and I need to know what
I
what
fucked
John
up
is
6
doing.
shadows in one swing. Is that why?
I actually thought you were going to use your new clerical abilities of just turn undead and just immediately.
Well, see, I wasn't, but I didn't know what they were.
Right.
I didn't know what they were, so.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were going to do. So, yeah, just as a little thing. By the way, like 2 seconds after we left Iro, he turned entirely into flame and disappeared from Barovia. First of all, what are the odds that you got Barovia, or you got? I can't believe it.
I think that's awesome.
It was
what's hilarious is
thing.
like, you know, I could walk around Barovia and like I know where everything is. Like
Yeah.
Whack Steven knows this.
You ran Curse of Strahd twice, essentially, right? Especially the beginning. So like it came up Demiplane of Dread, and I was like, "What is that? That sounds awful." And then I looked
There
it up
were
afterwards.
more
and was like,
episodes. How many episodes of Darkfire have we done?
41 or 2?
40.
There were more episodes of Blood and Mist than there were of Darkfire so far. So
Yeah.
that's how well I know Barovia.
Yeah. Blood and Mist is a show that Whack run previously, and it was the Curse of Strahd module. So yeah, you ran that, and then because you were dressed as Strahd and everything in that, and I was what are the odds of this? The odds that 19 would be the only character who can survive in the quasi-elemental plane of vacuum is also insane to me, and also the odds that you would roll to go and see the god of fire, Kosuth, is insane to me. With these rolls that you gave, I was like, what are the odds of this? Like, you could have gone anywhere. There's so many random things. I have a list of 100 things. I don't know what half of these are. Stardeep? You can go to the prime material plane. You could have just gone back home immediately. There's somewhere called Hades, which I assume is awful. Elysium, the Dismal Caverns. All these places, you ended up getting ones that weirdly fit your characters so well. It freaked me out. It made me think I was in a simulation. You know, I don't like coincidence anymore. And I'm like, this is the Matrix. So. Yeah. Oh, also, Hasmel's dead. So can we get some Fs in the chat for Daddy Hasmel, as somebody known as the Interloper seems to have defeated him. 2 guesses as to who that is. 1, no, it wasn't Drift, because that would have been great too, but it's not. It's someone else.
Fucking olds.
It was olds. We may or may never find out what happened to olds. That you will find out as we continue onwards. But since there's no John Sandman, and I would like him to return before we continue, because he's too important. He's too important for me to just do stuff that I would like him to be in, and he doesn't get to be in.
I think we understand.
I would rather, cut it a little short and get him in, and we'll find out what the fuck he's doing and where he is.
All people need to know about Old is he's running. He's Forrest Gumping right now.
Dude, so my question is did I actually serve that guy? Like, was he actually...
Don't answer her questions.
Yeah, don't answer me.
Never answer questions.
Sorry.
Well, you denied him.
What?
You denied him. Servitude.
Yeah, but... Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep telling myself that.
Well, let's do a quick round of shout-outs, and then we'll see ourselves out. And next week we should hopefully return to the character of Drift and see what he was up to, and then you guys will finally have your question answered of where you are and what you see around you, and whether you see 19 or not. Let's go with Wax Steven, because he looks less like he's about to pass out than PB.
Okay. What's up, everybody? I'm Wax Steven. I played Iridir for you today. Hopefully you enjoy that. And I think it was pretty cool, and we get to see 19 again. And I know that Iro had a much closer relationship with 19 than Oldest. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to find out. I'm also really tired today, so I'm not too upset that we're ending a little early. And I'm looking forward to having John back, and a big shout out to John. Congratulations on the we won. And yeah, I'm excited to keep going with this. I'm excited to do Zero Blue Orion on Monday. We don't have Halcyon Unbound anymore. That's all wrapped. So you'll have to tune in to the next show that we've got, which is Nocturne tomorrow. So hopefully we'll see you guys there for PB's show. PB?
Yes. All right, I'm reading up on this
Pumpkinberry.
guy. Hi, I'm Pumpkinberry. Come hang out with me tomorrow. That's all I got.
Okay. Go and see Pumpkinberry at twitch.tv/Pumpkinberry. And Nocturne is tomorrow. I think the tiredness is hitting me as well. It's contagious quickly before we all fall asleep. Tiger Writer, where can people find you?
You can find me in hell!
Holy Moses, welcome to hell.
That's where you can find me. No, I'm Tiger Writer. Thanks for coming back. I want to say this, whether Brad wants me to or not, even though I don't think he gives a shit. I was given a choice. And when Brad came to me with that choice, the instant pick was to do what I wanted to do. And I did a lot of thinking about it for a very long time, probably more than Brad would have liked, to be honest, because he was annoyed that I hadn't messaged him and
I was like,
told
dude, you don't understand how much I gotta prepare.
He's like, I gotta plan so much. I was like, all right. And then I messaged him. I was like, let's do this. So if you want complete honesty, viewers and people listening, I was very happy to bring 19 back, but I will admit about 25% of that choice was for everybody watching.
Oh.
Absolutely. I wanna
There
do
you
it
go. The
for- I wanna
fan
do it for
fave.
viewers, fans.
The fan
Also,
fave.
twitch.tv/TigerRider, Wednesday through Sundays. That's where you can find me. Goodbye.
Hashtag we are 19. The band is back together. And yeah, we'll see you next time. The campaign is kind of nearing an end. I should warn you all. If this were a book or a novel, I'd say we were in like the second to last, maybe third to last chapter. I wrote down the bullet points of like what I think is most likely to happen, and it was like 7. And that doesn't mean anything much, but there's about 7 bullet points to move through, and that's it's not a huge amount. Although one of my bullet points at the beginning was just Rose Guard, and that was about 41 episodes of the 42. So we'll see. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. And we'll return next week with Mr. John Sandman. Please do go and send him a little congratulations tweet and tell him that you missed him, and that tell him that Drifter's died, unfortunately, and he cannot come back and he needs to roll a new character. And see you tomorrow for some Nocturne.
Yes,
I
please.
am also falling asleep. Peace out. See you next time.
I'm the only one awake.
Bye. And don't forget to pray to Lord Kosuth tonight before you sleep.
Who is so fucking badass? I'm reading about him right now.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's cool as shit. He's cool as shit. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.